G'day everyone, and thanks for joining me today. Today I'm going to talk about this mere process of getting out of bed and facing that first challenge for the day, especially in a day of work. Now, I'd argue that this is a really, really important existential challenge. It sets the tone for the day, and you look at life as being a series of days, day in and day out, and every success that you have in your life has been predicated on smaller successes. Then every single day, you have to give everything you have for the most pivotal challenge of the day. And what is the most pivotal challenge of the day? It is that first one, when you get out of bed and you attack those difficult tasks of the day at your maximum. That, I'd argue, is the most important time. Now, it's not important because that particular task in itself is going to change the world or change your life. It's important because every human needs challenge and struggle in order to be transformed. There's no sense, there's no life, there's no success, there's nothing without struggle. It is a mere fact of struggle and transformation every single day that brings a person to follow their path. So, given that, the intent therefore should be to get up and face that challenge and give everything you have to beat that challenge. Now, it's easier said than done, and I think the most important thing is understanding that it is only that path that you have. There is no other path. If you travel or take a step back moment in existence, you'll begin to realize that there's no other path than the one you are taking at the current time. Now, the only way out of your current circumstances is to make better decisions and follow them through. So think about that. You only made the decisions that you could have made at the time based on the information you had at the time. The world is as it is, and your brain is following those natural laws. So there's an illusion, sometimes a comforting and sometimes disparaging illusion, that you could have chosen otherwise. Now look, the reality is you could only have chosen the life you had, but it is possible to make better choices and then have a better life. But the engine of pushing yourself to a better life, the way of following through that path, is always, in every case, to get up each morning and face that challenge wholeheartedly as if your very existence depending on it. And in fact, your very existence does in a certain way depend on that, because in the same way that as we got up every morning to hunt and gather and a bodily survival depended on that, your psychological survival depends on you serving interests of the person that you are. So basically, if you get up one morning and don't do what you're supposed to do, you're not going to be that same person tomorrow. You're not going to remain that person, because you'll get up the next morning and you'll have to be someone else in order to succeed. So I'd argue that your psychological survival depends on facing that first challenge and attacking it with all the intention as if your very survival depends on it. That's how your mind works most effectively. And when you do that, you can then, for the rest of the day, decide what your directional path will be. So I think that the first part of the day is just attacking the problem, is using that furnace, that engine, to attack the problem and do everything you can to really get those challenges done. And in work, it's generally attacking those hard tasks, those things you don't want to do, having some caffeine in the morning, and really going and getting that done. And what I would argue is the later part of the day is about really reflecting on that and choosing career paths, choosing learning, choosing those things, so that we have this dichotomy of full attention to the current path. But once we're done really with that life and death early morning struggle, again, psychologically or allegorically life and death early morning struggle, at the end of the day, we then make that struggle worth it by using that discipline, by using that whatever money we've earned, by using that in a certain way to achieve our long-term objectives. So first half of the day, that tactical, crucial struggle. Second half of the day, we go and use and achieve our long-term objectives. Now, that is painful. It always is painful. Being a human is painful. But if we manage our pain effectively and face it every day, every morning, and attack our problems for the purpose of a long-term objective, we won't avoid pain, but we will minimize the suffering that comes with it. All right, well, thanks for joining me. and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.